Hi, I'm Yvonne of Pre-Designs. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel and having a look at my latest video. This time I'm going to show you how to create a triple stamping layout, and I'm going to be using the Christmas season stamp set, and it comes with coordinating dies. So I've just cut out the labels, great little label set, but then you've also got all of these dies which cut out some of the images from the stamp set. So you'll need to start off with a set of white mats to stamp on, and then I've also done a set of background mats which are in Evening Evergreen. The white mats, the biggest one is 13.8 centimetres by 9.5, then 11.8 by 7.5, and the final one 9.8 by 5.5. And then each of the coordinating mats are 0.5 centimetre bigger in each direction. So 14.8 by 10, 12.3 by 8, and 10.3 by 6 centimetres. So to get started, we're going to need to be stamping on these, but all three pieces at once. The easiest way to make sure that they hold into place is just use a little bit of Stampin Seal, just tiny piece. You can see there, you can just pick it up on the light, just to hold the next layer in place for when we're stamping. Now I'm not measuring the distance of the mats all around, I'm just eyeballing it. The next piece, again, a little bit of adhesive to hold the next layer in place. And then because these stamps are a photopolymer set, we need to use a stamping mat or the piercing mat. And then I'm just going to stamp an array of different colours. So I've got them all here. I've got plenty of greens. I'm just going to pull in the Evening Evergreen colour so that we match the mats that we have. And then a series of the reds, which I've chosen Cherry Cobbler, Real Red, and also Poppy Parade. So just getting those ready. And I'm also going to need a brown tone for the pine cone. So I'm gonna pull in soft suede. So I'm going to start off with one of my bigger stamps, and this one is a two-step stamp, so I'm going to ink up the first one. I'm going to stamp off because I don't want the first stamp of the two-step stamp to be super dark. Stamp off again, and I've got two images there. Then I'm going to go in with the same colour, which is the soft suede, and just put the second stamped image over the top, and this just gives it a little bit of a highlight and adds dimension. Then let's bring in some of the greenery. Now the first greenery, I'm going to use the garden green. Probably got too many stamps ready for this particular one, this particular layout, but that's okay. Bring in a couple of each of the stamps. And you want to stamp some of the images off the side of the paper, but then also some on. We'll bring in the Old Olive, I think. This one is to stamp a little bit of the holly, and then we're going to put the holly buds over the top, or at the end actually. Okay, that's that one. And then the matching holly buds I'm going to do in Real Red. And let's hope I get these all matched up. No, that one doesn't actually match that one. I pulled in the wrong stamp. It actually matches a different one. So we'll just leave those as they are. And I will grab the stamp, which is actually this little one, which matches the holly. So I'll pull that one in and get that ready. And now I'll stamp in a different colour. We'll stamp in Shaded Spruce. Whoops, nearly to put it on upside down. I want to have a little bit of the holly detail in here. So I'll have that through the middle and then another piece up the top. Now I'll stamp in my Real Red, and overlay, which is a little bit tricky, but not too hard because these are clear and I can see through that I've got that pretty well lined up. And then another one through this way, lining it up as best I can with the ends of the little holly sprigs. And you'll notice that I've got a little bit of an edge here around the mats where it hasn't stamped. That's okay because that will be covered up when we're finished. I'm going to put in a little bit more holly actually, because otherwise I'm not going to have very much of the red in my card. I might do another one down here. And as I mentioned, you want to have some of it on the cardstock and then some off the cardstock. Bring in my holly pieces, line it up as best I can, and that adds it nicely. Then I'm going to pop in a little bit of red just over here, a little bit of the holly as if they're stamped. I'm not going to put the sprigs there because that's not really needed. You're not going to see it. Add a little bit more of the green colour, and this one is Mossy Meadow. Put some of the leaves upside down. So I'm really just adding in interest as I'm going to fill in the blank spaces. And I might put another little bit of this down here. Another one, and I haven't got any of the evening evergreen actually, so I'm going to bring this. This is a much bigger leaf detail. A little bit through the side here. That's a really dark colour, but I really like the evening evergreen, and that's going to match the mats that we've got. So you can see that I'm re-inking each time just so that we've got the nice continuity of colour. And the final little piece is this little sprig, which I'll just grab a block to pop that on. And I'm going to pop that one because I want to put it through the middle here. I might pick up a little bit of the Mossy Meadow, which I've got hiding over here. And I want to try not to completely overlay any of the other images. So that's pretty good through there. I'm going to put another one through here. A little bit at the edges, just to finish off any blank spaces. And another piece through there. So I've cleared away some of the ink pads I didn't need. I'm just going to put in a little bit of, a little bit more of the red detail using cherry cobbler and just using the little spots stamps that are in the stamp pad, just to add a little bit of red in some of the spaces and just to bring a little bit more of red detail in. So this is cherry cobbler that I'm stamping in, and I think a little bit more up here, and I think that's probably enough. Then I've also stamped a greeting. Now this greeting is from our Merriest Moments stamp set. This was one out last year and it's coming back in the catalogue, the July to December catalogue. And then I've die cut it with the dies, the seasonal label dies, and it's this one here. Just perfect. I've also stamped the holly leaves and the holly, and I've die cut those with the coordinating die. And then I'm going to put those on the card as well. So just put those aside for the moment. Then I need to take apart my stamping. The easiest way, remembering that I held this together with a little bit of Stampin Seal. So I'm just twisting them to get them apart. Then I need to attach them to each of my mats, which I'm going to do so with some multi-purpose liquid glue. I like to use this because it gives you a little bit of time just for moving the card so that you know that you've got a nice even border all the way around. So I like to make my mats 1/2 centimetre smaller than the previous mat. And that one I've cut wrong, so I'll have to go back and measure. But let's check the third one. The third one is correct. So I'll just go back and I will check my measurements. And oops, that one is there. I just want to slide it. And that's the beauty of using the liquid glue, is that you've got a little bit of time to slide it. So I'm just going to go back and check my measurements on this one because I've cut something wrong. Okay, so I'm back. So I've recut that mat. It should measure 8 by 12.3. And then I'm going to adhere this mat down. That's it. And now I'm going to attach each of these to the previous layer. Now I'm going to use dimensionals because it just adds a nice bit of lift to the card. I like to use the pokey tool or the paper piercing tool because then it makes it easy to remove the papers. That one's off. And then I'm matching up my stamping and my corners, and that's not the right way. It goes this way. And where we had the little bit of mist stamping, when you layer all of your paper up or your cardstock up, having the mat covers up that mist stamping area. So some more dimensionals. I like to use the mini dimensionals. They're half the cost for the same amount, or double the amount for the same price. Oops, that wasn't very successful. And then just place this one over the top, and again matching up my images. Okay, so that's my stamping block done. Then I'm going to bring in my base card. Now this is an A5 piece of card, and I've simply folded it, burnished it, and then folded it back in on itself to give it the easel, the easel finish. So I'm just going to burnish those edges. And then I'm going to pop this piece down. But before I do that, I want to pop on my greeting, and I'm going to put a bit of thread through there just to add a little bit of interest. Now I'm going to use the elegant trim thread, and I'm going to use the gold. I've lost my scissors, so I'll just grab those. And to hold the thread on the back, just a couple of little strips of Stampin' Seal. Place it down, wrap it around, place it down and hold it down. Place it, except it's held my finger down. I'm just going to put that across on a little bit of an angle. Attach it to the back and snip it off. And that's just adding a little bit of bling. Then I'm going to attach this piece to my easel. Now I don't want to put dimensionals or adhesive up this part, so the easiest way I've worked out to do this is simply popping some dimensionals across the bottom. I'm going to pop a couple more than I would normally because I want to really make sure that this thread holds. There you go, this one that has already come off, so I definitely need to pop a little dimensional over that. Push it right down into the adhesive. So I'm using 3 dimensionals across there, one in the middle for good luck, and then I want to pop a couple up on the easel part. Now I don't want to have any adhesive on this bit here, it's only on the bottom half. Take all the papers off. And then I'm going to bring this in, close my card so that I know that I've got the nice border, and I'm just eyeballing it there so that I know I've got a nice border all the way around. Push it down, and then that is my easel. So I haven't got any adhesive on this top part of the green or that part of the red. Add my greeting in there, again using some dimensionals, but I'm going to pop the dimensionals on the card front because I want to put the greeting on here. Just tuck it in underneath there. One more through here. And then I'm going to pop a couple on this top part here as well, just so that it holds really firmly. That one doesn't want to get out of the way. And then that's my greeting. So that's the front of my card finished. Then I want to bring in a mat for the inside and just a nice piece of basic white. Glue that down onto the inside again with my liquid glue. A nice border all the way around. And then these pieces that I cut off earlier, the holly, this is what's going to hold my easel piece up like that. But to hold it up, I'm going to need to have dimensionals on the back of those pieces. Oops, stuck to me again. So just a couple of dimensionals on each of the holly leaves. I must have a bit of glue on my fingers. And then the holly stamp actually has 4 pieces of holly. So I want to cut one of those off because traditionally you'd like an odd number of elements or detail on your work. And these little tiny dimensionals, mini dimensionals, they fit perfectly onto the holly. So take all the papers off the backs. It's still sticking to me. And now I need to place the holly. I'm not going to push that down yet until I'm sure that that's where I want my holly to go. I can afford to have my holly sticking over the edge just a little bit because my envelope is going to be a little bit bigger than my card base. Happy with that. Adjust the holly a little bit. And that is it. So that is my finished card. So we've got the triple stamping effect on the front and then finished off with a nice easel card. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. All of these products are available from our online store, with the Merriest Moments stamp set being available on the 1st of July. Thanks for watching.